This is Kerrigan and Company. Some banks focus on transactions. At Rockland Trust, we focus on people. Relationships come first because financial success isn't built in a single meeting or a single moment. It's built over time by listening and showing up, by being in your corner through every stage of life or business. Come bank where your relationship matters. Rockland Trust, where each relationship matters. Member FDIC. We have two funny ladies and one funny man on this episode of Kerrigan and Company.
Kerrigan and Company is here for you. Yes, Kerrigan and Company is here for you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Kerrigan and Company. So good to have you with us today. We have got two funny women and a funny man, and keeping me company, this woman says, well, I'm really not funny, but that's really not true. And once we tell you a little bit more about her, you're going to know just how funny she is. I am so happy that singer, here I go through the list of her resume, singer, and philanthropist, and social media star, and influencer, mom, funny lady. Let me see. Should I keep going?
What are you talking about? There's no one else here.
Sheena Melwani is with me today. Hi, it's so good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Are you kidding? And I'm really not joking about your resume. And I mean, it's amazing. It is amazing. And you're an incredibly talented woman. I'm going to share with the audience how we came to know one another, which was back during COVID, and I worked for Bloomberg, and we were looking for someone to talk about TikTok and the possibility that TikTok could go away. And I think that, Sheena, you had been quoted somewhere, and I was the one who saw your name and looked into you and started to see some of the videos that you and your husband and your family were putting out on social media.
And I thought, hook, line, and sinker. We got another one.
I said, this is the woman for us because she certainly understands what social media is all about and what TikTok's about, and I think it's pretty relevant for her. So I'm so thrilled that we could circle back now and be in person.
Absolutely, and I'm so grateful that whatever it was that caught your attention kept you there enough to laugh with us, because that's the whole point of all of this.
It really is. For those who, let's make sure that everybody knows. So for those who have never seen you guys on social media, and I say you guys because it really is sort of a family affair. Tell everybody where they can find you and what makes it so unique.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity. So if you've never followed us or never seen any of our content, the content is at Sheena Melwani. It's just my name. My husband has his own account now. It's called The Real Indian Dad. He has a little emoji or memoji face on his account. So even if you don't think you've seen us, you may have just in scrolling. Literally, we are at Sheena Melwani everywhere, and it has become a family affair. Yeah. We kind of stumbled into social media during the pandemic, like a lot of families, and realized that this is kind of a little bit of what the world was needing at that moment. Just a little joy, a little laughter, a little authenticity, and we leaned into it.
Little did you know that 2 million something followers later, right? And that's probably now across all platforms, right?
It's a little higher.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
If you put all of the numbers, it doesn't even make sense to me when I see numbers. We're talking about tens of millions of followers, and I don't understand that, and I'm just so grateful. I say the number not to pat myself on the back, not for any other reason, just other than saying, wow, that is incredible. Like, what a blessing and what a gift that is from the universe that we get to do something like that for that many people. Well,
it is. You are a gift to the people who watch because it is great fun.
Thank you.
But it is a gift. You know, we've had a number of influencers or social media stars, and I'm not sure which you prefer to be referred to, but we've had them on, and it's a lot of hard work.
Oh, yeah.
And you make it sound like, you're so appreciative, but you work hard for people to get to those kinds of numbers. I know that.
Thank you for saying that. It is a lot of work.
Yes, it is a lot of work, and I have a great appreciation for that. But let's back up even further.
Sure.
Because the fact of the matter is, you're this lovely young woman living in the suburbs of Boston and putting together a music career.
Yes.
That's how all of this
That's how
really
it all
started.
started.
I'm assuming you and your husband were already married and you were singing and you were out and actually making a name for yourself, by the way.
I was not.
Oh, no.
I was absolutely not.
No, that's not true, though, because, I mean, there's lots
There was no name.
Well, locally, you were getting out and people were coming to hear you sing.
Okay, can I tell you the story?
Okay, please do.
So during the pandemic, if you back up like 6 months before the pandemic, my daughter had just started kindergarten, and I had realized at that point that I had spent the last 8 years being home with my kids.
Yep.
And I had done everything I could to be a stay-at-home mom in the best way that I knew how to do it. And that's what I did. And at one point, my husband and I looked at each other, and he said, "You look sad. I know you love being home with the kids. I know you're a fantastic mom to them, but you still look like there's something that is not fulfilled." And I said, "Yeah, I just kind of feel like this career path that I had started on, where I wanted to release music and I wanted to tour and I wanted to gig, all of that is, I might have missed the boat." And he said, "No, I don't think you've missed the boat. I think you just took a pause to take care of your family."
Yeah.
And that's what worked for us. And so we kind of gave ourselves until our daughter started kindergarten, because we both do very well when we have a deadline to count down to. Mm-hmm. And when that deadline hit and Zara started kindergarten, it was, okay, I'm going to jump back in. And when I jumped back in, it was maybe end of that year, top of 2020. I put up a video sort of trying to understand what this new landscape was on social media. And I think that video got like 30 views. It really didn't go very far. And I looked at my husband again and I said, "Look, I told you so. Like, nobody's interested in this anymore. I've missed the boat." And he said, You're gonna have to rebuild. It's gonna be a lot of hard work. We're gonna just do it together. And he's always been my number one fan. And so I kept doing it. I kept trying to understand what social media was looking like at that point. And then the pandemic hits. And I was even harder on myself. I said, "Look, now nobody's out there. I can't go and gig for anyone. I can't go sing at a bar. I can't go sing at a club. What am I supposed to do?" And he said, "We have an amazing opportunity here. Everyone's home.
Right.
Everyone's scrolling their phones. To shift a little. We just have to shift our perspective a little. Let's turn to the complete, do a complete 180 and shift to online only." Mm-hmm. And so I turned on Facebook Live and all of these live functions, and I started doing live shows online.
Yep.
And I would invite my friends and my parents and their friends and all of that, and we would do these live shows online. And one night, after one of my live performances, I was like a human jukebox. People would come in and bring me their requests. And one night after a live, I was sitting and I was recording something for my Instagram page for the next day. And my husband didn't realize that I was recording.
You were recording. If the world was ending,
that's right.
You'd come over, right?
Yeah. That's right.
And he
you know
said,
this story.
"No, I'm not coming over."
And he said, "No, I'm not coming over. Who's coming over? If the world is ending, we're not coming over." And so it was very funny. I just ignored him. I plowed through, and I just kept singing. And he was like, "Why isn't she laughing?" That's our dynamic. He says, he makes a joke and I laugh. And I didn't laugh because I was recording. I kept playing, and ultimately I just collapsed in a fit of laughter. And I threw that piece of content up on TikTok, and it went viral.
Yeah. That's where it all started.
That's where
it all really did start.
Yes.
But let me just go back and say, I'm 100% with your husband. I don't know why you would have thought you missed the boat. Did you lose your voice? Mm-mm. No, of course not. You can still do that.
You're right, and I know that now.
Right.
But I think this is a hard moment for mothers,
I agree.
Especially.
That's true.
When you make that shift from your career to motherhood, mm-hmm. It's such a dramatic shift.
Right.
And it really hit me hard because I was in this industry that really required almost like a selfish perspective. Like, it's all about me and my career and my desire and my time. And then you don't believe that anymore when you're a mom.
Yep.
I didn't want to go on tour. I didn't want to be gigging on Fridays and Saturday nights. It didn't suit my lifestyle anymore either. So it was like I missed the boat, but I also didn't want that boat anymore.
Sure, absolutely.
And so I really, really struggled with okay, so this thing that I had spent 20 years building and developing, and this talent that I had poured my entire life into, all of a sudden didn't suit the lifestyle that I had spent the last 8 years refining with my kids.
Sure.
So in a way, social media was this unknown blessing. I didn't know what I was getting into, and it's allowed me the opportunity to find a complete new, fresh perspective to my career.
Sure. Are you getting from this what you thought you would get had you plunged out there again and, as you said, played clubs on Friday nights? And do you feel like you're getting that same satisfaction?
And then some. And then some. I mean, it's
because sometimes it's about an audience, and and you're not necessarily getting that feedback.
I'm not.
Right.
Not in physical.
Right.
Distance, right? Because the people that I reach are all online. So I know that they're there. I know that the numbers show that people are watching, but I'm not actually seeing people in front of me. It was a little bit of a challenge or a shift of thinking, because when you set yourself up to expect a certain outcome and all of a sudden that outcome is different, then you're wondering, well, is this really what I wanted?
Absolutely.
And it is a game of the mind, but I have taken a step back and really understood that this is so beautiful in its own right, and I love it. And okay, it may not be exactly what I thought it was going to look like, but I'm open enough in my heart, in my spirit, to say I accept.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, life has a tendency to throw us curveballs.
Totally.
Would you suggest this for anybody else? And is it too late for people to build?
No. I don't even need you to finish
she beat
that
me to the punch. It's not too late for people to build that. Because I mean, it feels like there aren't a lot of you. I'm going to say that because what I find that makes you really so unique is that, first off, you're crazy talented, and you are, and I really mean that.
Thank you.
Gosh, listening to you sing Christmas carols was just lovely. But anyway, but you also have incorporated your family, which not everybody can do that either. Yeah. And they are such a great compliment.
Oh, they're lovely.
I mean, your kids are adorable. Your husband is phenomenal, and has joined this team, not as a singer.
No.
He doesn't compliment that part necessarily so much, but he certainly compliments you.
Way, yes.
So it really makes you unique and different. So is there really an avenue out there for someone else to do something like that? Because they don't have all those things.
But they don't have to do it just like I did. They could do it in their own way, whatever suits their family lifestyle or whatever suits their strengths. I don't think that we set out to do something that tapped into everybody's strengths. It just happened very naturally. And our kids have grown up seeing this. They've grown up seeing a couple, like their mom and dad, just joking around and living with joy and living with laughter and love in their home. And so they've adopted that. And it's easy for them to fit into that piece of the puzzle. Sure. But whatever works for you, you don't have to replicate somebody else. You have to find what works for your family unit.
Absolutely. How do the kids do with it?
They love it. My kids
they don't know much else, do they, at this point? Because they were pretty young when this all started.
Yeah. And, we give them enough flexibility to say yay or nay. Like, if they don't want to be part of it, then they're not part of it. And if they do want to be part of it, then they can.
Sure.
And as they've gotten older, I think they've really enjoyed some of the cool opportunities that have come out of this business and this experience. And so because of that, I think they're a lot more open-minded. Yeah. But I'm very clear with my boundaries with them. Like, if they don't want to do something, it's a hard no. Yeah. I don't. In that sense, like, I am a mama bear, and if they say I'm not interested, I'm like, okay, we're not doing that.
Then I'm not interested either.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We're going to talk more about where this is all going to go a little bit later, but we do this thing here called the Rockland Trust Fast Five.
Okay.
So Fast Five, it's brought to you by Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters. Visit your nearest bank or go to rocklandtrust.com, and you can learn more. Of course, Sheena here with me, and we're going to rapid fire 5 questions, and ideally we'd like for you to do it in 30 seconds.
Oh, boy.
You will not be ejected from the chair. I do want you to know.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, if it goes a little bit over, we're going to let you stay.
I'm going to keep it short. Okay, got it.
All right, here we go. Who's your favorite singer?
Oh, God, that's such a hard question. Like, of which time? Ed Sheeran, Adele, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey. Come on.
There you go. I think she's answered it right.
Let's go. Next one.
I think you're just trying to avoid the rest of the questions, right?
Yes.
If your husband wasn't an attorney, what job do you think he would be really good at?
Oh, he's good at everything. He's so irritating. He's so good at everything. Anything that requires like a big picture, like a CEO, director of sort. He's incredible.
He's the CEO at the house too.
He really is. Well, no, my daughter is.
I'm sorry. Yeah, goodness, I would never put anyone ahead of her. What dish that you make does your family request the most?
My son requests onion soup au gratin. My daughter, poke bowls, and my husband, tomato curry.
I love it. And your son has a very large spoon that he eats all of that with.
Yes.
You like to read, is my understanding.
Love to read.
What's one book you recently read that you loved?
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Okay.
I loved it. It was so good.
Other than you, who is someone you think that you should follow on social media?
Like, it depends what you want. Are you looking for spirituality? I love Jay Shetty. If you're looking for humor, there's so many funny couples. Follow my husband, the Real Indian Dad. He's awesome.
I'm going home to follow him, by the way. I knew he had his own social media, but I don't think I follow it. I'm going,
and he's even more unhinged. I'm not at all. And he's even more unhinged on his social media.
We talked about this off air, but I just have to say, you were explaining how you guys use this. You called it a memoji. Yeah. For him. Brilliant. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
I mean, I love the fact that he has a little bit of, privacy.
Yeah.
But
not much, but a little.
Much.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But just the concept of it is just so great fun.
Yeah.
So
it honestly, it started off as just like this way to protect him from being able to have his profession and his personal life separate. And now it's just our thing. Like, everybody at work knows that he does this and they respect it, and it doesn't impede his work in any way.
Right.
But it gives him a little comfort in knowing that the two worlds are separate.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys don't do anything that would impede that world. I can't imagine, know, but it's just great fun.
Everything that we put out is for our family, our friends. Our kids watch everything. Our parents watch everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Sheena Melwani is my co-host today. She's keeping me company. Sheena, we've got two comedians joining us, and this is going to be great fun. And then a little bit later, we'll talk a little bit more about where all of your world is headed. So everybody stay with us. This is Kerrigan & Company. Banking shouldn't feel transactional. It should feel personal. At Rockland Trust Bank, we take the time to get to know what matters for your business so we can support what comes next, not just today, but for years to come. Because when you have a banker who knows your business, understands your goals, and sees your vision, that partner can make all the difference. Come bank where your relationship matters. Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters. Go to rocklandtrust.com for more information. Member FDIC. Do you need to buy new technology? Let AGI Beacon help you buy better tech for less. The team at AGI Beacon understands technology from the inside out. AGI Beacon provides expert guidance to help businesses navigate complex technology decisions with clarity. With AI transforming business operations at an unprecedented pace, having the right advisory partner is no longer an option. Go to agibeacon.com today to learn how they can help you with all your technology needs. That's agibeacon.com. This segment of Kerrigan & Company is brought to you by Allure Matchmaking. Your forever after is waiting for you. Find them through Allure Matchmaking. Go to allurematchmaking.com today. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan & Company. Well, I promised you today that we were going to talk to funny people, and of course, Sheena is here with me, keeping me company.
Not one of the funny people.
Oh, please. I'm telling you. You and I are going to have it out over this, aren't we? We're going to come to blows. But the next person who's joining us, we know, is very funny. And this is a long time, this is the first time he's been on the show, a long-time comedian. He's also a podcaster, by the way, the Pete and Sebastian Show, which he's been co-hosting for the last 10 years. You asked me how long we've been doing the podcast here. Well, that makes us look like we're just,
amateur hour.
We're newcomers.
I feel the same way. I feel like as long as I've been doing my podcast, it's still feels like amateur hour.
Pete Correale is our guest today. Hey, Pete. Hi. Good to see you.
Hi, Kim. Nice to meet you. Hi, Sheena. Nice to meet you. Good to see you both. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to see you. And we are so excited because you're Boston bound, my friend.
Boston bound, coming to the Wilbur. Pressure's on. It's so funny, you know, I've been on this tour now, and you play so many different cities where you're like, depending on the city is how nervous you get, you know? Like, I was in Minneapolis a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, whatever.
Are you nervous for us?
Of course. You're kidding, Boston.
Tough crowd? We love to laugh.
You love to laugh if it's funny. If it's not funny, you're not going to laugh, and you're not going to give the polite laugh.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Yeah, we don't do this.
No,
we're not. We don't do it.
No, and specifically in Boston, you got guys like these Steve Sweeney's, these legends who've lived there forever that like absolutely bring the roof down when they perform. So just a little chuckle isn't enough either.
Yeah, that's true. Put Kim and I in the front row and we'll laugh for
Absolutely. You. We will be there to hold the place up. Pete, how long have you been doing this stand-up thing?
Oh, let's see, about a little over 30 years now, since 96. Since 96 is when I first started. Yeah, that was when I first started. Making a living, though, first 5 or 6 years wasn't making a living. Okay. Then making a living after that, but not a good one for a long time.
So I ask you this because I'm always interested in finding out what possessed you to get on a stage and to do that first gig. Because, I have a lot of friends who have done, tried a little stand-up in local clubs and whatever. Yeah. And they say that first night is just absolutely the most terrifying experience. So I'm just curious about your first experience and what it was all about and why you went in this direction.
Well, honestly, when I graduated college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I had taken, long story short, one acting class my senior year for non-majors. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll be an actor. This is so long ago. I did nothing about it except move to New York City, and I worked at a hotel. So one time I was on one of these cattle call auditions, and I got invited by these guys in line to be a part of their improv group. And I always liked stand-up comedy. As a kid, loved it. Me and my brother would yell when it came on, comedian, that kind of thing. But didn't think it was something I could do. So we performed our improv at comedy clubs. And the third time we did it, we would perform at like 5 p.m. just for parents. We were terrible. Nobody came. So after the third time, these guys all were going out for a few beers. And I said to the club owner, can I watch the show? You had a show start. And he said, yeah. And I was amazed. I was 3 or 4 comics, and I was just in love with it. Then I went to an open mic, and at my open mic, Jim Gaffigan was there. He was just he was a few years in.
Wow.
And this guy, Judah Friedlander, who ended up on an NBC show. But they were talking about comedy and the bits they were going to do that night. So even before I got on the stage, I was falling in love with the whole idea of it. I'm like, oh, my God, they talk about bits? This is crazy, So regardless of how I did when I got up there, which, it wasn't very good, I was already falling in love with it. And that's the only thing I tell
creative. It's for the love of the art.
It is.
Yeah. And I tell comics that start now, the only advice I have to give, if you want it, is the one piece you need to know. You need to love it so much that you can't imagine not doing it.
Exactly.
That's how much the people you're going against love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, you're a writer, though. I mean, that's a big part of... I talk to other comedians who say, I don't write for others. I don't really even write jokes. I tell stories. But you're a writer.
I do like writing.
You write bits? Like you actually sit and write a bit?
I do sit and I do try to write bits. But the thing about that is, I had a great conversation once with the comedian Colin Quinn. I said, Colin, I could sit for 3 hours and try to write a bit and come up with nothing. Then I take the subway to the comedy club when I lived in New York City, and all of a sudden I come up with a great bit on the subway. Yeah. And he goes, that's because your brain's thinking about it, because you've been working that muscle all day. Yeah. He says you wouldn't have come up with that bit if you weren't trying to write all day. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But and then I wrote on a sitcom, which was just really fun, just a lot of fun. But that was Kevin James just liked my stand-up and called me out of nowhere. I never met him. And he said, you want to come write on the sitcom I have coming out? I have a room full of writers, but I'd like a writer that's a comedian.
Yeah.
And then you just sit in a giant room with a sitcom. It's so wild. You're in this big room, and you're a writer on a show, but you don't even need a pen or a computer because they have writer's assistants that write whatever you say.
So you just scream out the joke.
Yeah.
That's
and
amazing.
And Sheena, what's so wild about that is there's people in this room that are just writers, so they may have something funny, but they're afraid to say it out loud because I'm sitting there. Kevin James is sitting there. A couple other people that are comics might be in the room.
It's intimidating.
It's intimidating. But if you let them go in another room, that's what I would tell Kevin. Let that guy go in another room and let him bring something back 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're like, wow, this is funny.
Oh, I love it. That's
That's such a cool environment.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't even imagine how much fun. You guys must have laughed all day.
Oh, I did. And it's so decadent. It was like one of the last sitcoms on network television. So I called my wife up because this was on Long Island, so I'd commute we moved to Western New York. But anyway, I called my wife up and be like, this is absurd. I could save $1 million a week on this production alone. Like, they got like lobster tail at lunch. It's ridiculous. You know?
I'm going to become their accountant after this is over.
Comedian, writer / accountant. Save you $1 million.
Talk about the guy who's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, we did a Christmas show. This is a CBS sitcom. One episode took place in a toy store. So they brought in all these toys to load this fake toy store. And at the end of it was right before Christmas when we were filming. At the time, my daughter was like 3, and the person in charge goes, just get a big garbage bag. Just take whatever you want.
Oh, my gosh.
We didn't even Christmas shop for my daughter that year.
Oh, my gosh. So fun.
Well, listen, I love to ask comedians this, so I'm going to ask you. Tell me, what do you think is funny?
Real life stuff is funny. Sometimes a comedian will do a story and I'm with it, and then at the end he'll like hypothetically go, and then the cow said, he'll say something that didn't really happen.
Right.
And I say to these guys, why don't you say what really happened?
Yeah.
That's much funnier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just really like stuff that really happened.
And you can tell, right? Like you can tell when there's an authenticity to the story.
Yes, and of course everybody's going to exaggerate the story. I get that. That's what makes it funny. But, only once in my career I tried to tell a story that didn't happen to me. And I felt like they could see right through me.
Wait, did it happen to somebody else?
One of my closest friends, it happened to him on my keys. That's just so funny. I got to do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's not a comedian. So I was like, go ahead. And it just didn't fit right. It was so weird.
So you
Never
felt
said it again.
It's like
you
a
felt
dishonesty.
dirty. Yeah, right. Felt dirty, and then you had to go and confess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Guys,
like someone was going to jump.
it didn't happen.
I was there.
Well, I know you do a lot of your stand-up is about your family. I mean, family's got to be that's just a treasure trove of stuff, right?
It is, and it's what everybody can relate to.
Right.
And also, early on, I got my chops playing at the Comedy Cellar every night in New York City. So if you were going to go up there with a joke about politics and something, there was a guy, he's not alive anymore, the late, great Greg Giraldo. Another one who's not alive from Boston, Patrice O'Neill. These guys would have such good stuff about politics and current events that if yours wasn't that good, don't bother. Plus, it would be burnt in a week because now we're on to the next thing. So I was like, you know what? Patrice O'Neill can't do a joke about my wife because he don't sleep next to her at night. so that's what made me.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Does your wife or does your family, do they like plant funny moments for you to make fun of?
No, they don't. It gets to be the opposite. Like, sometimes my wife would be like, say something. She'll go, I'm sure that'll make you laugh.
I catch myself doing that. So, I lean into it. My husband's very funny as well, and I lean into it. I will plant, I know something's going to annoy him.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is going to make for some great comedic content. I'm going to do this right now, and I'm going to take one for the team.
Well, see, that's funny, Sheena, because if I was married to you, I'd go, my wife thinks she needs to help me, so she sees a funny moment, she leans into it, like with a Smothers Brothers, and you need help.
That's funny. Okay, you're not allowed to come over. I was going to invite you over to have dinner with us.
Wait.
You're disinvited. Maybe your wife can join me, though.
All right.
All right,
On
so-
the menu, what would I have been missing out on?
Yeah, what would you
were
have
we gonna
made?
I mean, the possibilities are endless. I'm a great cook. Too bad for you.
Oh, God. So, Pete, tell me about the podcast. I mean, you and Sebastian have been together forever. I mean, I think it's really, when the two of you came together 10 years ago, I think both of you had been out and you know, people knew who you were. I mean, it's amazing to me that the two of you have stayed together and here you are, these two, you know, big headliners and you're still together like this. How do you live in the same room together? Although you're not in the same room a lot, but how do you live together?
Well, I mean, he's wildly more successful than me, but so I'm just grateful that he kept doing it. But it was interesting when we first started doing it. We met on the road, and he said, "You want to do a podcast?" And like the first time
You two were just standing there, and he said, "You want to do a podcast?" Is that how it went down?
No. Well, I say we met on the road. We did a show together.
Okay, I gotcha.
In Canada, we ended up doing a show together. We became very friendly. So he said, "Do you want to?" And I was living in LA for a year, so we did it together at first. Yeah. But he was like, "Do you want guests?" And I said, "Well, I don't mind if we have guests, but I'm not going to get them. It's like a lot of work."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm not getting them either." So then we're like, "Well, let's."
That's the answer.
Enter the female who's going to organize the whole thing.
So then our only rule became we would just try to make 1 hour a week to do it, and the only rule was if somebody wants, because we didn't go live. So afterwards, if somebody said, "Can you take that out?" I decided I don't want that in there. You know, because sometimes we'll vent about family or you'll say something that you don't want in there. The other one can't try to talk you into keeping it in. They just have to go, all right. And that was it. And so I think because it was so simple and not a lot of heavy lifting, just once a week, and it became therapeutic too. You know, we really got to know each other so well and bounce stuff off each other. And then he got hugely famous, so that put a lot of eyeballs on it. But if he was already famous when I met him, it would have been a little more weird.
Yeah,
because
would have been harder.
Like when I met Kevin James, he was already a movie star, so you end up talking to them a little differently than you would if you knew them before they were.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
Like I couldn't imagine treating Sebastian any other way than I do. But when I'm around other people with him, I forget that like he's kind of blown up into this big star.
I think that's the beauty, when you can just be yourself and treat somebody the way that you would treat them,
absolutely, well,
famous or not.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you guys
it's
have
usually the person that's not famous that changes.
Yes.
You'd be surprised. They just feel weird. Like even some of my own friends, as I started to get more popular in comedy, they're like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "What?" Like it's weird to talk to you now because I listen to the cat. I'm like, "Hey, we grew up together. What are you saying right now?"
I told Kim a story about this just a couple minutes before you got on. I invited Patrice Bergeron and his wife to bring their kids to play hockey with my son, and I told my husband that he could take this gentleman that I didn't know who he was to play pickup with him. And my husband was like, "You don't know who you're talking to right now, but you should stop because this is Patrice Bergeron, the just newly retired captain of the Bruins." But I think if I had known who it was, I don't know if I would have changed my demeanor, but I
don't think you would have invited him to play pickup hockey.
I told his wife that the Bruins did a really cool learn to skate program for kids, and that she should bring her kids with them. But I do think that people change, and I think that it's really cool when they don't.
He probably found it so refreshing, though. You know,
Right.
That's so funny.
My husband did not find it very refreshing, just for the record.
Her husband was mortified. So tell us what, we know you're coming to the Wilbur on Friday, the 20th, which is cool. And we'll be sure that we push that out so that people know for ticket purposes. But what else is going on in your life? What do people need to know besides the podcast? And of course, you're out on this cool tour.
I got a new hour special coming out that I filmed at the other ones I've all done in theaters, but one I wanted to do in a comedy club because I always felt that's like, it's the best. And I filmed it not too far from you guys. My favorite comedy club East Providence, there's a little club called the Comedy Connection, and it's like it was an old bank, and these two young guys renovated it into a comedy club, and I've been going there for years, real small. So I filmed a special from there that's coming out.
Awesome.
It's simply called Let's Hang, and it's coming out in March, and it's my favorite one, my best one I've done yet. So
that's so great. Good for you. You know what? I've been to that club.
You have? Okay.
Yeah, I have. So I'm going to be anxious to see that because I want to see how they shot that in there because it is pretty small. But that's cool. That's great. That's an intimate one. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Wilbur, but I see that more as a theater. I mean, it is a theater, so it's like I never saw the Wilbur as a comedy club.
Yeah.
But it's a great spot. That's going to be a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you know what? This has been so fun. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I'm glad I got to chat with you, ladies. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, continued success. You going to keep doing the podcast?
Keep doing it. Keep it going,
baby.
Pete Sebastian Show.
Absolutely. Be nice to your wife because she deserves it.
I will, Kim. I owe you, damn. I'm being nice now. I'm not home.
There you go. Be nice to your wife and stay on the road. All right, Pete.
Care, ladies.
You too, Pete. Thanks so very much.
Bye.
All right, everybody. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. This is Kerrigan and Company. Boston is full of smart, driven professionals whose lives are full, but their love lives, well, not so much. That's where Allure Matchmaking comes in. Led by Jill Vander, Boston's most respected matchmaker with more than 25 plus years of experience, Allure eliminates the noise of dating apps and replaces it with discretion, dignity, and high-quality introductions. Every match is thoughtfully vetted and personally selected. No public profiles, no endless swiping, and no guessing games. If you're ready to stop wasting time and level up your dating life, contact AllureMatchmaking.com today.
If you like rum, you're going to love Rumson's Rum, New England's most award-winning rum brand. Rumson creates distinctive and savory flavor profiles by hand-selecting and marrying the finest barrel-aged Caribbean rums. The spirits are then blended and finished in the New England Rum House. Choose from Rumson's Gold, Spiced, Grand Reserve, or Coffee Rum. Find Rumson's at liquor stores or ask for it at your favorite restaurant. Learn more at rumsons.com. That's rumsons.com. Rumsons. Life lived. Life enjoyed.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. So good to have you with us. And, of course, keeping me company today is Sheena Melwani. And it's so good to have you with me. Thank you again for being here.
It's so good to be here.
So, there's a lot of funny ladies out there.
Yes, there are.
But the next lady who's about to join us.
She's funnier than me for sure. For sure.
All right, I'm going to give you this. Because I do think you're very, very funny. And I'm not giving in to that. I will say, this is a funny lady. The other day, I sat and watched her. I'm telling you, Sheena, I watched her for about 45 minutes, a show that she had a couple of years ago. And I was upstairs laughing so hard. And my family was like, what is going on with
Don't you love
what is
that,
she doing?
Though? Yeah. When you find something that you can genuinely just belly laugh to, that's the goal. For a comedian, that is the dream.
It is. So, Kathleen Madigan, it's good to see you. And thank you so much for making me laugh so hard.
Sure thing. I'm here. I'm excited. I'm coming your guys' way soon enough. So I'm glad I'm not there this week. That would really throw a wrench into the plan.
The snow really missed you.
I have to tell you, it was during the snowstorm that I sat upstairs and watched you. And that made the snowstorm a little easier for me, I must say.
Were you hiding so that you didn't have to feed your family?
Right, or shovel.
Or shovel.
Yeah, don't do that. It's heart attacks. No, that's all they keep saying. They just keep saying it's heart attacks.
That's it. That's it. So, Kathleen, off air, we've already, identified the fact that both of us are from St. Louis. We are both Midwesterners. I know. There you go.
So proud.
And yes, I was giving us a shout out like that. Yes, and I feel like St. Louis is somewhat like Boston. Like there's enough Irish Catholics to keep us all motivated, but the weather in Boston, I don't know. I have a niece and nephew that are hanging out in Cape Cod this whole winter, and the weather.
Oh.
I mean, my niece was sending pictures. Like St. Louis, that might happen once in a lifetime.
Right.
But
it doesn't happen in Boston too often, though.
Yeah.
We've had a rough winter.
But I remember being up there when they ran the Boston Marathon one year. I was working at the club in Faneuil Hall, and it was the Boston Marathon. It was like maybe 29 and sleeting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
whatever, when is that? April?
Yeah. So,
and I'm like, this is crazy. And everybody showed up.
you know, Kathleen, I have to tell
crazy.
you, my husband and I both from St. Louis, and we always say this, the time of the year that's the most different is there's no spring here.
No.
There's no such thing as spring.
No.
You know, St. Louis
Right.
is going to get spring in late March, and it's going to start, and there's no such
Nope.
thing here. So
We
yeah.
just go straight to summer.
Yeah, we do.
get cold, and then summer.
We flip a switch.
Yes, I've seen it in both. And the winter just lasts a lot longer up there than it would in St. Louis.
Yeah, you're so right. We were talking about this off the air, and you said, you know, you've been here a lot, and you've been in a lot of the clubs here, and we have a lot of friends of this show who are comedians locally. My very first co-host on my very first podcast was Lenny Clark. He's a dear friend of mine and has been a friend for a long, long time.
You must have laughed a lot.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We had to cut some. I had forgotten that this wasn't TV, and so he could say the things that he said.
Yeah.
There was, you know, and he could tell the stories he told.
Yeah.
Because I kept thinking to my producer, should we let him say that? I don't know if we should say it.
I feel the same way with my husband. I'm like, are you allowed to say that?
Should you
He's
say
very
that?
unhinged.
Boston has always done a great job of kicking out great comedians. Like if there was a comedy SmackDown city versus city, I'd put Boston in my top 2 on my DraftKings account. I don't know who can, at different times, maybe Minneapolis, they crank out a lot. The Mitch Hedbergs, the Louis Andersons, Maria Bamfords, but Boston's always solid. Like you'll never find a weak link in their lineup. So if they presented 5 comics to go up against 5 comics,
We love you.
money's on Boston.
I know, it's so good. You know,
Awesome.
I think, don't you think, Kathleen, part of that is just they're very supportive of one another here. I mean, you know, these guys who are at the top, it seems to me, just reach around and pull people up.
They do. And you feel that when you're there. I won't mention another city where I definitely don't feel that. Like there's some cities where you're like, oh, this is man eat man, every man for himself. And like, it's just not a good vibe there. Even if as an outsider, they'll say, you know, so you want to come down and do the thing, you know, we'll get you on. Don't worry about it. I know the guy. Like they're always very helpful and very it's sweet as much as an Irish Catholic drinking guy can be sweet. Put it that way. It's their own version of sweet, like my uncles. They're being sweet. They may not sound that way with the accent, but it's like, you know, I like your shirt. It also sounds like you just said, I'm going to punch you in the face. Like the accent. I love the accent. That's why I watch Perfect Storm at least once a month to see that bar scene where the bartender's mad. Just to hear the accent. And my friend Kelly McFarland, who's a comedian, a Boston comedian these days, originally from Maine, but she can do the accent so good. Like I will just beg her, just do it for 5 minutes. Talk like that for 5 minutes.
Kelly was on the show a couple of months ago, and we had such a good time with her. She is way too fun.
She's great.
Yeah.
I got to bust Kelly out into more of the United States. Sometimes those Maine, Massachusetts people kind of hang out.
Yeah.
Like there's a comedian in Maine, he doesn't leave Maine. But Bob Marley has a bus and he just goes, I mean, occasionally he'll leave, but it's weird to see Bob out in the wild.
Yeah.
It's like, why aren't you in Maine with your people? You're the king of Maine. I think they just get settled up there. There's enough work. There's enough people that there's enough towns. You can just keep going around in a circle if you want.
Maybe it's because his name is Bob Marley and he's just afraid to get out. You think?
Maybe.
yeah, and he doesn't look like the more famous Bob.
No, not hardly.
He's the exact opposite, as a matter of fact.
As long as he's being fulfilled, he's getting the laughs.
This is it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's the difference? He's got like 100 kids. They all get on the bus and a wife. They have a great time. They have a wonderful time.
Kathleen, I love your sense of humor because it's, you know, I always say this. First off, comedians are smart. They're so smart because they're so quick and they're quick on their feet and they're so smart. And you are one of those comedians for sure. And you don't use cheap humor. And I love that. I know a lot of people like, you know, kind of dirty, off color, lots of language.
It's easy to get a laugh when you just drop like a bad word.
You got it.
But the really, really excellent comedians are the ones that can take a moment, flip it on its head. They've already thought about the 3 different outcomes. They found the best scenario and they've hit you with this zinger. And it's like,
it's so hard to do it. So it's really like hats off to you. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. And I don't describe myself as clean. Like people will go, "Are you clean?" I'm like, "Well, what's your definition?" Like I'm not doing dirty or sexual or anything like that. But have you yelled shit in front of your kids when you're driving?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, so does, that word bother you? Or like, everybody's so specific now about what does that even mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, in my family, everybody cussed, drank, and smoked.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to tell you. You take a very good friend of mine, Leanne Morgan, for instance. Leanne, Southern Baptist, nobody cussed, nobody drank, nobody smoked. I can't even fathom that. But that is her true upbringing.
Yeah. Right.
So if that's you, be you on stage.
Yeah. Right. And there's nothing wrong with dropping a curse here and there.
Mine are specifically planned. I'm not just saying it to say, it's only where needed. And occasionally a joke calls for that. And no other word works.
Yeah.
Or no other word works is good.
Yeah.
So you just go, well, this one's for me. I can't probably do it on the Tonight Show or, whatever. But it's for whatever. But I think it's gotten so, I don't know, somehow it went off the rails of too dirty and now it's almost too clean where I'm like, look, I'm not doing a show for kids.
Yeah,
I mean, this is for adults. So if you go to a bar and drink and cuss every now and then, that's how I would say, I cuss every now and then. It's like my parents. I never heard them drop an F-bomb unless it was highly serious. Like if I heard an F-bomb, I was like, oh my God. I bet we got to sell the house and move. Like it was something crazy. It wasn't just like, but like, other words were 24 hours a day.
Of course.
Like my mom would go, I'm not dealing with this shit. And then she'd throw stuff down the basement steps. Like there's 7 kids in my family. Somebody's going to start cussing.
Absolutely.
That's just a given.
You bet. Well, I don't think the curse words are the issue. Sometimes it's just the subject matter. I love comedians like you. And I mean, Seinfeld is famous for this. You are somebody who takes something that happens to me on a regular basis, and it happens to you too, and you find the humor in it. And I love that.
Usually it's a little bit of time, like I do all these jokes about my dad getting really sick, but a little bit of time, you can separate it. In the moment, it's not funny at all.
Of course.
Give it a month and then look back on it. And then, because I really am my brother's a financial advisor guy. And he one time described me as Sally Lunchbox. And I go, what does that even mean, Pat? He goes, well, when I have clients that are just normal people, like they're not rich, they're not poor, they're just your average American. We in the financial world call them Joe and Sally Lunchbox, meaning you're just the run-of-the-mill American. That's exactly, he was not wrong. That's what I am. So my life is going to reflect most other people's lives. I don't have assistants or private jets or any, like crazy things that you just go, well, nobody lives like, and I do have friends that live like that. I do not live like that. So I'm up there taking my mom to TJ Maxx for fun.
There's some relatability there.
I know, but I see you always want to just stay relatable. Even if I didn't do comedy more, I'll still take my mom to TJ Maxx, even though I know she's going to want to leave in 10 minutes and go, I'm sick of that shit. Yeah. I'm like, well, all right, let's go. We'll go over to Marshall's. Maybe something will be different over there. Yeah. But I am normal. Like, I'm never going to be weird. There's comedians that are weird that I love. Maria Bamford, everybody should go watch Maria. I'll never be that eccentric. For better or worse, very just run-of-the-mill person.
It's like what I was saying earlier. You have to take what works for you.
Absolutely.
You have to take your strengths, you have to take your skills, and you have to make it work in your package.
Absolutely.
I keep trying to tell the younger comics, like, whatever you are, you need to be that on stage and not what someone tells you to be and not what you think is going to make money. Because I've heard a few of them saying, well, if I don't cuss, I'll make more money. Well, you might, but do you cuss in real life?
Yeah.
Then it's going to be weird if you don't.
Right.
You're not going to be who are you?
Yeah.
And then people are either going to attach or not or whatever. But to go on stage and try to be something other than you are, it's just not going to end well. It won't be good.
Kathleen, I want to talk about, first off, I want to talk about your comedy special. Tell us a little bit about that. And then also behind you, I see you've got a podcast. Yeah, I know, which is so fun. Pubcast. I love that. Dave, can we change the name of ours? I'd like Pubcast
Well,
to
that's
be.
because I'm always drinking while if I'm on the sign, I'm drinking.
So you have to have a beer in that cup.
Right. I'm drinking, but it's water. See, that's the difference between your life and mine,
Well,
and it's
I
kind of a
have
bummer.
So she says it's clear liquid.
This is it. Okay, so let's talk about that. And you're out on tour. You're going to be here in Boston in April.
Yes, I can't wait. I have 2 shows. It's so great at this when I can get 2 nights in a town. So I can get, instead of doing 2 shows in one night, they all push for that because you make more money that way. And I don't care. I would rather be in one place, especially a city I love. Like the Black Rose is one of my favorite bars in all of America, and it's right there in downtown Boston. Like I've got my spots. So I don't want to just fly in and fly out. I want to hang out. So I'm very excited about that. Awesome. The special's on Amazon. It's called The Family Thread. It's mostly about my family. I mean, that's what I talk about. It's what I've always talked about. Yeah. Even when they have asked me, like, hey, can you write jokes about this or that? I'm like, nah, I don't think like that. Like, it had to have happened.
Right.
Or I can't sit down and write you 15 minutes worth of golf jokes, let's say. I'm not a joke writer. I'm more of a storyteller. Like, this is the stuff that happened. And it's more like a one-sided conversation in a bar. Like if I walked into the bar and you say, Kathleen, what have you done this week? I'd be like, well, my dad had another stroke on Friday, which really irritated my mom that he was having strokes on Friday because there's no staff on the weekend. And she's like, when she looked at him and goes, Jack, could you please stop having strokes on Friday?
Very inconvenient.
I'm like, Mom, well, it's not helping. I'm like, well, I don't think he can process that, but okay. The Family Thread, that special on Amazon is just mostly about my family. It's the Midwest, Irish Catholic family, and it's been the same subject since I've been 24 years old. It's never changed.
Yeah, but they have changed, and that's why the jokes get to change, right?
Yeah, the jokes change because the circumstance. But like, if you look at Jim Gaffigan, for instance, he's always talked about the same kind of types of things.
Absolutely.
I've always talked about the same. Luckily, we just, when we were young, knew what we wanted to talk about, and we knew who we were somehow, some way, and then
You know how to tell the story.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's been quite easy. Like, I can't, when you guys say comedians are smart, there are some super smart ones where, like, Jeff Foxworthy was an engineer. Greg Giraldo, he's passed away, God love him, but he was a Harvard graduated lawyer. I was like, you were a lawyer? I was a bartender. I didn't risk anything by jumping in and trying comedy. I can always go back and bartend. Right. I guess you could always go back and be a lawyer, but I'm like, yeah, I didn't put that much effort into school. That's crazy. So some of them are crazy. Like,
so let me ask you something.
Has a master's degree. It's
crazy. You're not arguing that point that they're smart, because I would sit here and I would take you on, because I mean.
No, I'm not arguing.
Okay, because comedians are smart. I am telling you.
There's a few dumb rabbits amongst us, and we all know who they are.
Right.
And those dumb rabbits do what I call the easy act, meaning their jokes are so simplistic that. And I do not blame them for that if that is truly them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy, I won't say his name, but I'm like, that's all he thinks about every day.
Right.
You know, his bathroom jokes, or,
right.
You know, my wife won't let me do this. Like, it's very simplistic. But the smart ones take it somewhere else and go, let's go one level or two or 4 or 5 levels above. So we have a few dumb rabbits like any job, but most of them are pretty smart.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. Yeah. And I certainly count you among that. I don't care if you were a bartender or not. You were just a smart bartender.
That's right.
I was a fun bartender.
I bet you
I
were.
made a lot of money.
Listen, we're from Missouri. We know how this works. I'm so excited. You're going to be here April 24, 25. Let's see. Will we have snow on the ground? Yes.
Probably.
By the way.
Probably.
Yeah, we will. We will, because the snow's going to be until June.
I'm going to bring my big coat.
Yeah, bring your big coat, friend, because bring your big girl boots, because you're going to need them even in April, believe it or not. You're going to be at the Wilbur, and folks can get tickets by going to wilbur.com. And we can see the special on Prime, you said?
Amazon.
Amazon
Prime.
Yeah. No, well,
I'm going to lock myself up for the next 45 minutes when I get home.
It's so fun. Yep. So fun. And Madigan Pub, tell us, Pubcast. How often do you drop it? Once a week?
Once a week, yeah. I mean, I take a couple weeks off a year, but for the most part, once a week, yeah.
You take time off? You take time
Well,
off?
She has to take her mom to TJ Maxx and Marshalls.
Yeah, it usually involves older parents and my sister calling and going, I'm sick of being in charge of these people. And then one of us is like, all right, fine, I'll come home next weekend. Like, oh, yeah. So she needs, the brunt of it is always the one who lives closest.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That is for
I told my sister, you should move. And then it defaults to my younger brother.
And boy, wouldn't you like to see that happen just for a little bit,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. No, mom's fine. Mom's fine. She could be in her house with no food for 3 weeks. Oh, she's good. She's got
Guys
cookies.
and daughters and sons are different. They're very different breeds.
Mom's got salt. She's fine.
There's an old saying, a daughter is a daughter for life. A son is a son until he takes a wife.
Yeah.
And I got to say, when my dad was really sick, even the female in-laws stepped up more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll give the guy team 50%.
Yep.
I give the girl team 95.
Yes.
We got a 95 gold medal.
Yes.
Those guys. But that's also because I just really think they believe that. Oh, he's good. No, he's not. But I think, like, my brother would mean that. Yeah, stop by. They're good. I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
Like, the dog hasn't been out in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What's
like,
good?
Come on, man. Yeah.
What's
Step
good?
it up a notch, Patrick. Like,
Pat. Poor Pat.
Poor
I don't know
Patrick.
Pat, but I just have such sympathy for this poor guy.
well, he don't, because he's the youngest, and to my mother, he can do no wrong. He's a saint. Mm-hmm. He could kill everyone in the neighborhood. And she's like, well, he asked them nicely to not park there. They shouldn't have done that. She would somehow blame it on them.
Is she convinced, Kathleen, is she convinced that this day coming up in March is for him? St. Patrick? Is that his day?
Why wouldn't it be?
Of course
why
it is.
Wouldn't it be? Yeah, and he was born the day Elvis died, so he's probably Elvis. In addition to being the new savior, my mom's second favorite person after Jesus would be Elvis, and then the Pope. And so Patrick.
And then there's Patrick.
Yeah, St. Patrick.
Oh, I love it. Hey, Kathleen, thanks so much for being a part of Kerrigan & Company. We've had a blast.
All right, come to the show at the Wilbur. That place is super fun because it's all bar tables in the bottom and then seating on top. It's like a giant club.
You know what?
I love the vibe.
Listen, I'm going to be around at that point too, so I would really like to come see you. So if we can work it out, maybe we can get a picture or something. Okay?
Yeah. Come backstage. It's a tiny backstage, but there's always pizza and beer and wine.
There you go. I love it. All right, Kathleen Madigan, thanks so much again. And everybody remember, she's going to be, you bet, honey. See you soon. April 24th and 25th at the Wilbur. Be sure you check it out. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up. This is Kerrigan & Company. Aesthetics.
My name is Dr. Howard Kesselman. I'm the medical director at Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa in Beverly, Massachusetts. I'd like to discuss with you 3 benefits of GLP beyond those of weight loss, with which I think many are familiar. Number 1 has very favorable and protective effects on the heart. Number 2 has very potent anti-inflammatory effects. Number 3, kidney disease, very protective against progression of chronic kidney disease.
For a free GLP-1 consultation, go to siennaesthetics.com and book today. This segment of Kerrigan & Company is brought to you by Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa. Take years off your face with the very latest technologies at Sienna Aesthetics in Beverly. Well, it's that time in the show that we wrap things up. I want you to know, my face is starting to hurt from laughing. So much, right? Exactly. It's been so fun. Kathleen is really
so funny. She's so sweet.
She's terrific.
Yeah,
she really is.
Yes.
I think we should go either on the 24th or the 25th.
I would love to.
And see her. Yeah.
We'll go on a double date.
Let's do it.
Love it.
Let's do it. Does your husband go out with his...
Yeah, exactly. With his memoji.
He shows up.
It's funny because people see me and then they'll look and they'll be like, where is he?
Right, exactly.
That's him.
There he is.
And he looks just like his memoji.
Yeah.
I don't know who we're fooling. Nobody.
Well, and again, like you said, it's more than fooling. It's just kind of a cool and fun, wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
We talked a lot about you guys and how you've built this incredible empire, really. And, I asked you in the first part of the show how you felt about social media and if you like to be called a social media star, an influencer, what you like. So you didn't get a chance to answer that. What do you prefer?
I like creator, singer, songwriter. I feel like it allows me to tap into my artist side more. Quite frankly, the idea of being an influence on somebody, I know that in the grand scheme, yes, there are things that I do that might influence somebody's decision one way or the other, but I don't feel like I have that power over people. And even when I tell my kids, like, you're not supposed to be influenced by people. You're supposed to be the one making your choices on your own. So that idea, that concept of influencing, it's always just like sat a little off with me. I like creator. I really love the idea of like, I am a creative. That is part of my spirit.
Right. Well, I love creator too because it feels like, especially in your case, and you've told the story, you got in it to create music and to share it with others. And so, I mean,
and to feed that part of my soul.
Absolutely. You bet. Like you said, that artistic side. Philanthropy has become a big part of your life, which might I take my hat off to you for that.
Thank you.
Because I think it's really important when people get that you give.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys at your house feel that same way. So let's talk a little bit about Spread the Joy.
Spread the Joy is a foundation that is so close to our family and so close to my heart. I do feel like when you are blessed with certain things in your life, you have to give it back. That's part of the universe's cycle.
It's the deal, right?
It is. It is.
Sort of the deal.
It is. And I think that that's what makes, you have to leave this world net positive. You have to. That's my opinion. And that's what we teach our kids. And so wherever we can give back, we do. And you don't have to do it loudly if you don't want to. You can do it quietly. Spread the Joy was kind of born out of a desperate moment. My sister started this foundation because her daughter was born with a very rare autoimmune condition, and I call it the ultimate lemonade stand. Her daughter was in and out of the hospital for many years when she was younger, so we know firsthand as a family what it was like to be in and out of these spaces and to be kind of restricted to a small room or a small space for many weeks at a time. I would go into the cafeteria, I'd go into the food hall downstairs, I'd like pillage any room I could find to find things for my niece to do. I'd find forks and styrofoam cups, and I would find things to just help her create art, help her keep her motor skills active. And so when she was finally released from the hospital, they went home and they said, well, what about all the kids that don't get to go home for the holidays or don't get to go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas? And my sister took her kids out to Target or TJ Maxx or one of these places, and they bought supplies and they filled what they called joy boxes with art supplies and things that they could give or gift to these kids that were stuck in the hospital. And it just started this really, really cool exercise that we continued as a family. And eventually we realized how much we were healing through this process. Yeah. So Spread the Joy was born. We deliver activity kits to children in hospitals. They are completely free. We are in over almost 300 hospitals across the U.S. I think it's like 280 hospitals across the U.S. and some in Canada as well. We deliver these packages that are filled with things that doctors and therapists and child life specialists have all vetted, and they know that they are good for kids for one of 5 pillars of emotional growth, or maybe it's fine motor skills, whatever it might be. There are 5 pillars that we make sure that we hit one of those. And it's amazing to see what kind of an impact you can have.
It is amazing. And I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was in hospitals here locally. I didn't realize you were all across the country, which speaks to the reach that you have. Yeah. And that is using it for good, which is really so fantastic.
And we have, what we do is we do corporate events too. So companies will have us come in and they'll host a packing event, and they can see what goes into it. They can see what's at the heart of the organization.
How do you do the fundraising?
like this. We need your help. We have volunteers that will go out and do as much as they can, but we're 100% donor driven. We work with some really, really wonderful people. We've actually done a packing party here upstairs.
Big night.
Yeah, Big Night Live. And it's amazing to see when people feel like they're giving and they're part of something bigger. Yeah. Their hearts are just so open. Absolutely. So if you want to learn more, if you want to donate, $25 is all it takes to give a box.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. And if you want to do a corporate event, you could, go on the website and learn more. But there are ways to give back.
Absolutely.
Spreadthejoy.org.
Okay, spreadthejoy.org. So let me say that again, spreadthejoy.org. That's where you get more information. Do you have new music?
I am working on new music, actually. Just last week I was working on new music, so hopefully that'll come soon. I don't have a release date just yet, but it's on my bucket list to just do more and more and more music.
Super. And tell everybody again how they can follow you.
Sheena Melwani, everywhere, on Apple, on Spotify, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere you want. You can find our podcast, Sheena Melwani. It's called Sheena Interrupted, but if you just do a quick search for my name, you'll find it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This has been such a delight.
Thank you so
Thank you
for
much.
having me.
Oh, I'm just so glad we got to spend some time together. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you very much. Continued success.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for spending some time with us. I hope you've laughed as hard as I have laughed today. This has been a very fun episode. If you're watching us on YouTube, we want to ask you, please subscribe. And if you aren't following us on social media, be sure you do. We'll see you the next time. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Kerrigan & Company. To find out who will keep me company and be my co-host on the next episode, be sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Kerrigan & Company is recorded at the Big Night Studios at the TD Garden in Boston. You can view the podcast on YouTube and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure you tell a friend. The executive producer of Kerrigan & Company is David Thompson, and our social media managers are Grace Kerrigan, Colby Thompson, and Riley Thompson. See you next time.